So what I'm going to do today is make a video and show you how to remove to clean your exhaust fan on your Glowforge. The way they designed it is it actually bolts to the metal subframe before they drop it down to the plastic housing. And as you can see, it has a metal plate. It's just really hard to get to clean. They didn't really design it to be removed or cleaned by the end user, but it can be done. So today I'm actually going to show you how to do it. And it's not too terrible difficult to do. It just has taken a little bit of time and it's going to be messy. So here's just a picture of the exhaust fan on ours. Yes, we're running an external fan. So it might have helped to kick on that fan every now and then just to blow some trash out, but you can just see it's pretty terrible. So the first thing you're going to need, you will need a 2mm Allen, a T10, and a Phillips screwdriver. Razor blades just kind of for chipping out big junk on the fan if you want to clean it. And same thing with those. So you've got 3 T10 screws on the top. There's 1 in the front and 2 in the back. And you just go ahead and remove those out of the way. And just slide your gantry slowly. Go ahead and get the back too. And it gets a little tricky after this. If you haven't done it before, you have to get some sort of pick. I use an Allen wrench I had laying around. I ground it down to a point. I'll show you a picture of that here just in a moment. They have redesigned the clips on the lid so that it is way easier to get off than the old style clips that were originally on them. This is actually a refurbished unit that we've had for a little while. So they've got tinfoil covering the holes. You just peel those off. And here's that Allen wrench. You can see I just kind of ground it down to a point so I can use it as a lever to get back behind those clips. So the new style clips look more squared off, and you just get behind it and then you pull on them with the, you can see here's a picture of them. So they're a lot more forgiving than the old style ones that tend to break. But we're going to start from the front, and you just kind of pull in the one and you'll pick up on it. It's not going to move a lot, but it'll move some. Then you move on to the next one and it'll move a lot further. And then you get the last one and you kind of have to bump it. Sometimes there's some adhesive between that metal. And you can see here it is off. It's pretty dirty in there. We've been cutting some MDF and you can see it just clogged up everything. The heat fins, heat sink on the Pro, on this one, you can't even see through the fan. Very little daylight. Just be able to pass through. So you just get a Phillips screwdriver. There's 4 screws holding the heat sink in place. And this is on the Pros only. If you don't have a Pro, this is a whole lot easier. But the Pro, they put this heat sink right in the way. So you go ahead and get that out of the way, and you get the 2mm Allen that I showed you. I've got a screwdriver style, but you can use any of them. The top 2 are easy to get to. The bottom ones are fairly easy if you have the Plus or basic model. On the Pro, you have to kind of maneuver this heatsink out of the way to get to them. And it can be a little bit of a pain in the neck because the heatsink screw plates are actually kind of covering those Allen screws a little bit. So you have to there's some ball nose style ones that help, but you just kind of push it in there at an angle and then push it in, make sure it's seated real well because you can strip it. And I've been there, that's not fun. You can see here's just a angle going into it. You can push your wires out of the way, just push into it and break those loose. And there you go, that's bad. That fan was clogged up terribly. So what I did was I went ahead and had a fan here that was bad. I broke all the vanes out of it, removed the fan, so there's a funnel there, still pulling air over that heatsink. So I'm back up and running now. Everything's working well, and it's actually flowing better than it ever was, because even using an external fan, that fan that's in there does cause some resistance. And that resistance to the air, you can hear the fan or feel the fan spinning if you ever put your hand in there with the other fan, external fan pulling air. So it is a resistance. If you're not keen on breaking it out, or if it's still under warranty, you could just set it aside and put it back in there if you ever need to. Or if you want to just take it out and clean it, of course, take it out, clean it real well, and put it back. And I really don't even use the lower right screw when I go back together on it, because that's the hardest one to get to. So I normally just put 3 screws back in there. And in this case, since I was just using a funnel, I just put the top 2. There's no need to even put the lower 2 screws back in there. But if you're interested in doing this, if you got any questions, feel free to put it in the comments. I'll do my best to help you out.